Hello again. I'm always the man in red, and this is my second attempt to make an episode in English. I apologize for my bad English. I'm an Italian person and might not be really qualified as a speaker because I'm not an English native, so I'll try to speak slowly and make myself as clear as I can to say what I have to say. This is the second sad day for me because the first one was on the 17th of May 2012 when I heard that Donna Summer has died. She was one of my legendary heroes, heroine of the 70s, and I seriously miss her because it's one of the first records that has been bought of her was Hot Stuff by my loved grandfather who passed away some time ago. But the reason why today is another sad day is because I learned from the legal news that Foyles, the legendary bookshop, is going to sell his premises to a company, probably a venture company, for £70 million, and he will relocate in other premises nearby. This was the article was saying. So in other words, Foyles, the bookshop in Charing Cross Road, is selling the building. The Foyles family is selling the building to a private vendor, I assume, to a company, and Foyles will stop being where it has been, and he will find probably new premises to trade in books. Now, it's really sad for me because since '98, which is the year in which I moved to London, I used to go to Foyles on Saturdays, and to browse for books and maybe at the end of the day I was buying just one or two for the sum of £20-30 because I was not rich, didn't have so much money at the time, and since then I kept doing this weekend by weekend. I've been going to Foyles and I was buying one or a couple of books. I was browsing the entire law library. I was browsing the entire biology library. It is there that I bought the beautiful Ira Lapidus History of Islamic Society. It is at Foyles that I discovered first Niall Ferguson. It's the first book I bought of Niall Ferguson. Was I don't think it was Empire, and I discovered Niall Ferguson at Foyles. I bought the latest work of Eric Hobsbawm at Foyles. I bought the first law books when I decided to become a lawyer and I enrolled at Westminster University. The first books that I bought at Foyles were Contract Law by John McKendrick, Tort, and Public Law, if I remember well. It was in 2003. It was an amazing time. It's always been an amazing time. And last week, in the last 10 days ago, I've been to Foyles and I bought another book. And when I was in the library, I discovered that there were a couple of professors from a university in France that were browsing for scientific books about the functioning of the brain, microbiology of the brain, etc. And I started having a chat with them, and these chats I was entertaining with them was not dissimilar, was very similar to many chats I had at Foyles in beautiful days. I remember I met so many people in there and we start talking about public law, art, literature, philosophy, and it's at Foyles that I discovered some of the works of Jacques Derrida and Gilles Deluze, postmodernists in philosophies. It's at Foyles that I bought the beautiful Manual of Modern Philosophy by Cambridge, and it's at Foyles that I discovered the beautiful History of Ancient Civilization, if I remember the title well, of Cambridge University Press. and I discovered the beautiful Cambridge University Press, and I also discovered that Foyles I've seen first time in my life when I moved to London in '98, the Loeb series of the Greek of the Latin, the Green and the Red series, the series which Hannah Arendt in Memories of Hadrian was quoting as one of her favorites collections of ancient literature that she always had with her when she was alive in the preface of Memories of Hadrian. And you know, of so many things I bought in there. I wish you could feel what I feel. I'm really physically sorry, because that was a beautiful place in the true spirit of English, in the English culture. Big, large spaces, maybe not beautifully, you know, beautifully furnished, maybe a bit old school, but full of texts and books and texts and books and textbooks and manuals and texts and manuals and books and books and books and books of any type. And the technically Foyles was also the place. It's also the place to go and research, because it's still there now. It's a beautiful place to go there and search for topics, even when you are non-inspired, when you don't know what to do, you're bored. You go to Foyles. If you like books, you will find something for you, and your inspiration will come back again. Is when I started to do these video blogs, The Man in Red, I remember that I really went to Foyles and say, bloody hell, I want to talk about the vocoder. And bloody hell, I found the book about the vocoder. And when I went to Foyles, I want to buy, I don't know, a book by Herbie Hancock. Bloody hell, I found a book about the making of Headhunters, one of the classic albums by Herbie Hancock. When I've been to Foyles to look for, I don't know, I remember last time, hip hop, and I found a huge selection of social or commentary on the social history of hip hop, and also classics reprinted. And when I was looking for international relation, the same thing. I have one of my passion and my dreams is to read as much history as I can in order to write a history of music. Also, in terms as a PhD, as a in a very complete form, and to have you know, a good historic arguments backing all the music and music industry issues that I will put light on hip hop and funk. And reading history for me is complementing my knowledge, it's understanding, is adding textures, it's adding layers of knowledge, which makes me really glad. And sometimes I used to sit down in these little chairs that Foyles has here and there, and I was taking 10 books and reading, and the one I didn't buy that day, the next week I was there purchasing them at the counter. It was an amazing experience. I'm sure that most of you have felt this way. Unfortunately, the people I know are very, I don't know, indifferent to books and to knowledge in the old fashion. Probably because they go on internet, they search, they have an ebook, etc., etc. Well, I have my my ebook somewhere, and I read it sometimes. I have a couple of Colco, Calvo Coresi, Hobsbawm, and Ferguson book purchased digitally, but I honestly prefer paper for several reasons. On paper I can scribble, I can put my notes. If I treat it well and I don't write on it, I can resell it second hand when I want to buy some other stuff but I don't have the money for, etc., etc. I don't know how to explain. I really would like to know people who, like me, feel you know, passionate about books, and they've been to Foyles and they love the bookshop. It's since the beginning of the century. It has been established in 1907. How economy and capitalism ruin such a beautiful place just because the location is becoming commercial, because we are having a lot of new people coming into London, and then we need to commercialize and to pump billions everywhere. And probably what we will find in that beautiful building where Foyles is now, we will find an ice cream shop, an H&M shop, maybe another McDonald's, as if we didn't have enough of them, and a couple of other retailers. But what the loss of culture and the loss in terms of content that we have by losing Foyles in that location is immense. It's a point of inspiration. I'm sure that if I was a poet, I would have wrote a beautiful poem about being one day in Foyles. And if I was a writer, but I am not a writer, I'm just a charlatan. If I was a writer, I would have written a beautiful chapter of a book about one afternoon. What did it mean to me? And what does it mean to me to spend an afternoon at Foyles? Foyles is owned by the Foyles family. They will have probably had their good reason to sell the bookshop, and I'm not against their choice. I'm simply sad because of that happened, and of course I'm very upset because of people indifference to books and to culture. But people love to go the last pair of shoes everywhere, and to buy clothes is the cause of failure of many bookshops, financial and commercial failure, and commercial failure by many bookshops. Because if people was a bit more interested and help this kind of publishing industry by buying some more books, probably Foyles wouldn't. I don't know. It's always the same thing. Primark is full, H&M is full, but to buy a book that costs £10, no. You know how many people I know? I'm a professional DJ, and I also work as a paralegal. But how many people I know, both in the law field, in the legal fields, and both in the music industry, and they don't care about reading anything. They read nothing, zero. I mean, I don't want to say that I read everything and I understood everything I read. Probably I read a lot of stuff, I buy a lot of stuff, and I understand 1% of what I read. This is not the issue. The issue is, do you really want to spend your life buying clothes? Or maybe buy some books sometimes. I mean, I love clothes. I'm a fashionista. I have McQueen, Gucci, Prada. I have this kind of stuff in my wardrobe. But believe me, at the end of the day, what you earn and what you have, if you have something left after paying your expenses, has to be equally shared. And culture and books, for me, it is an essential investment that every human being has to do in life, when possible, of course, when possible. So I proceed now with a little shooting of the books that I bought at Foyles, and I hope you will enjoy and share with me these little feelings that I have for the departure of Foyles. Naturally, last note, the news in the legal newspaper was saying that the Foyles Bookshop would have relocated in another place. I seriously doubt. I mean, I have some reason to doubt that this is going to happen. I mean, I really hope that we don't lose it forever, but for sure we will lose the fascination, the beauty of being inside there. And if you really want to make an homage, to make a gift to the Foyles family and to Foyles, before it moves, go there and spend one afternoon or a couple of hours in there. At least when you pass by, rather than going through, try to stop and look at the beauty of these display windows with all these books of any type. Soft and easy, hard and professional and simple narrative. Beautiful. Okay. I really thank you for listening to this rap of mine. Now, I'm gonna show you a few books that I of course hope you're going to like it. Thank you very much.